A, B, C, D, the letters by themselves. And we've looked at simple digraphs as well, like CH, CK, TH, SH, stuff like that. From here we tread into murky waters. We're going to look at, well, some more digraphs, but we're going to look at diphthongs as well, which can get pretty crazy. So first, what is a diphthong? You're asking me. A diphthong is a digraph containing two successive sounds. So the sound by itself of the letter A, when you say A, you're not just saying one sound, you're saying two sounds. So this is represented on the IPA, or the International Phonetic Alphabet, as small e and small capital I. This represents, when we say A, it goes A-E, A. You can't say the A sound with one letter. You have to move successively between these two sounds, and that's what a diphthong is. At the end of this lesson, we're going to take another look at a center examination question, and we'll go through the answer to that together. I'd like to take the time to point out that I'm a Kiwi. G'day. I'm from New Zealand. I'm not from America, so my pronunciation will differ a little from what you would hear on a test on American English. So where there are differences between what I would say and what you might hear on the test, I'm going to highlight the differences and put an emphasis on what you'd hear on the test, not what's necessarily natural to me. So if you speak exactly like me, people are likely to understand you everywhere because I'm just that cool. In all seriousness, there's no standard English anymore, so it all depends on who teaches you. You're pretty lucky to have someone as awesome as me teaching you English. Moving on. First of all, let's take a look at some digraphs which include vowels and consonants. And you'll note here that three of them are actually diphthongs as well. Okay, so first we have AW, which creates an aw sound. Aw. So we have here saw, flaw. Here we have CU. Often it creates just a short k sound. Cup, cut. But with the E modifier here, we get cute, cure. Something to be careful of. With some diphthongs here, we have EW, which creates an oo sound, or in this case, U. So first we have brew, flew, and then over here we have stew and U. And no, I didn't write that because I'm from New Zealand. OH is used in American Romaji, which can create some problems sometimes. Not too often, but for example, if your name is Oka, when it's written in American Romaji, it looks like this, Oka. But to a native speaker of English who doesn't know about this Romaji, they think it's Ohoka, which is completely different. It's not Ohoka. It's Ooka. So I don't particularly like using OH when writing Romaji. I prefer to use OU, or you can just use the dash over the O for the elongated O sound. I don't particularly like OH, but that's what they do in America. For OW, we have three different sounds. First is O sound, then ow, and O. So here we have yellow, then snow, then the next sound we have ow, now, brown, and then O, short O, knowledge. There's something else I just want to go over now, just quickly, but we're going to look at it later in another lesson. ION. in this case, for T and C, just think of it as like shin, like nation or suspicion. For G, it's the soft G sound, so jin. For S, it's kind of tough. It's jin, collision, vision, stuff like that. Okay, but we're going to go over that later in more detail. It's just something I wanted to point out now because it pops up a lot in many, many words. Time to get our diphthong on. So, first one is AE. It appears, well, it has 6 different pronunciations. First we have the long E sound. Encyclopedia. Sorry, I'm going to highlight these. AE. Okay. Encyclopedia. Now, this is actually the British spelling. In the American spelling, there is no A. It's just encyclopedia. Much easier to understand, I guess. The reason it's spelt like this in English is it's borrowed from Latin. So words borrowed from Latin often have the AE like this. And Americans did away with that. We have the short E sound as in aerial, aerobics. We have the A sound as in aesthetic. We have ale. So here it's modified by the L. It becomes maelstrom. That's a tough word, maelstrom. Here we have an I sound, long I, maestro. And lastly we have long A sound, so reggae. Okay, so remember all of these, the sound shifts from one sound to the next, A-E, in the space of these 2 letters. So that's why these are diphthongs. For AI we have A, nail, fail. So it moves from the long A sound to the short I sound, nail, fail. That's brought about by the L. When we have an R on the end, it becomes ear, chair, fair. And down the bottom, the I becomes silent, it just becomes a long A sound. So pain or stain, 2 words that you never want to hear together. For AO, we move from the long A sound to the short O sound, AO, as in chaos or aorta. Here we have jail. This isn't pronounced as strongly. It's more like a schwa. So this is the English word, jail. Okay, so you'll notice for these, we actually technically have 3 sounds because A-E-O, A-E-O. But still, diphthong. For AU, we have aunt and laugh. Now, in America, these are pronounced as ant and laugh. Ant, laugh. No matter which way you say them, these 2 are pronounced the same. You're not going to say, my aunt laughed or my aunt laughed. So they're always the same pronunciation. So that's the R sound, aunt, laugh, or aunt, laugh. Here we have the long A sound. Doesn't look like it, but this is gauge. For here we have or, so flautist. Some people say flautist. I'm not sure why. Here we have the O sound, chauffeur. And here, restaurant, so or. I forgot to mark these again. Here you are. And these 2 are borrowed from French, so you don't need to worry about those so much. The restaurant is quite a common word, so best to know what it sounds like. Our last A-based diphthong today makes a long A sound. So we have say, day, play. And my personal favorite, which is payday. Booyah. Our question today focuses on the A sound in each of these words. The A by itself, that is. So let's take a look at these words individually. But first, I'm just going to give you, say, 5 seconds to look at these and see if you can work out which A sound is different from the rest. So, let's read these words out and see if you can figure out, just from the sound, which one is the right answer. First, format. Format. Instance. Instance. Manage. Manage. Passion. Passion. Okay, now if we separate into the syllables, then it becomes a bit more clear, a bit clearer, which one is the right answer. So for format, you can see, like we covered in the first lesson, the A comes before the final consonant, meaning that's the short sound, A, format. Let's skip instance for now, big hint. For manage, again, this A, which is the one we're looking at, comes before the final consonant of this syllable, man, manage. Okay, so again, that's the A sound, manage. For passion, we separate it again, and here you can see, this is why I wanted to bring up the I-O-N. This is pronounced like shun. And we don't particularly pronounce this S, so even so, this A is still before this consonant at the end of the syllable, so passion. So, oops, again, this is A, passion, which brings us to instance. Because this is a rather long syllable, instance, this isn't particularly pronounced, actually. This is more like a schwa. We don't say anything, it's just we're making a sound to get from here to here. It's just a nothing, basically. Instance. We don't say instance, instance, instans, just instance. You just go instance, which means the correct answer is 2. Instance. The rest of them are the short A sound, format, manage, passion, instance. Now that brings us to the end of this lesson. Next time I'm going to be going over E-based diphthongs using E. So EA, for example. EA, EI, blah, blah, blah. Thanks for watching and see you again next time. By the way, when I say fish and chips, I don't say fush and chups. I say fish and chips. Thank you.